Tasha. Have you guys heard of Damon Johns, Tony Robbins, and Gary Vaynerchuk? Gary V as they call him. Well, today we're going to be talking about the conference that I just attended. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and I'm Tasha. So today I'm going to be talking about the conference I attended, the National Achievers Congress Conference that they had here in Nashville, Tennessee. It was a 2-day conference where we had speakers like Damon John, Gary V, and Tony Robbins. I was so excited about this conference. I was able to get a ticket for about $19 or so for this 2-day conference, which was a steal. This 2-day conference was held from 8 to 8. That was a little bit of a con because 2-day conference, whoa. In January, I went to a Damon John seminar, although he wasn't there, but I still learned a few nuggets, and I was able to get a few ebooks. Maybe I'll talk about that in another video. And I knew a little bit more about Tony Robbins. He actually has a Netflix show on one of his previous conferences, so that gave me a little bit of an insight on how possibly he would be in this conference. And with Gary V, he's somebody that I just recently found out about, maybe a month or two, so I follow him and watch a lot of his videos from YouTube. With this being a 2-day conference, I already knew that I wasn't going to attend the full schedule. So what I did that Thursday, I went down there really early because I was hoping to get the actual schedule of the speakers. So when I went and I registered, the registration actually went pretty smoothly, broken down into different color categories. So I was in the silver category. And once you got into your color category, you could sit anywhere. But you do not get a schedule of the speakers. For about 7 speakers, Tony Robbins and Gary V were the keynote speakers. So usually the keynote speakers speak last. So I thought that maybe I could just go half a day each day, seeing that later in the day, those keynote speakers were going to speak. And I really wanted to see Gary V mostly. In this conference, they were going to be speaking on topics in entrepreneurship, building, stocks, life strategies, and so on and so forth. I'm sure you guys have been to a conference like this. Mostly you really think about how is it going to motivate you after the conference. How am I going to keep that motivation? So I ended up leaving, going back to work, and I didn't get back down there to the conference until about maybe 4:15 on the first day. And when I got back down there at 4:15, Tony was already speaking, so I was a little bit late. But to actually hear him speak, wow, he is an amazing speaker. His portion lasted from about, well, I got there at 4:15, and it wasn't over until about maybe 7:45, closer to 8. So he spoke for about 3.5, 4 hours with no breaks. In between that time, we did break off into smaller groups, just talking to your neighbor, that sort of thing. But for the most part, he had so much energy, and being able to keep the audience engaged for a full 3.5 to 4 hours was amazing. Tony Robbins is a very good speaker. The 2 main things that he was talking about, the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment. Those were the 2 main things that he was talking about. And I'll probably make a video going more in depth for what actually I learned in the conference, but those were the 2 main things. What I really loved about Tony, his ability to be able to engage the audience for those full 3.5 to 4 hours. A lot of the time during the conference, we would be talking to our neighbors. And even one part of the actual conference, we had to get into like a group of 3, and then we would kind of like rotate each person, and then we would like massage them, and they had, you know, massaging their shoulders and stuff. And I like getting massages, but usually it's usually during like when I go on a cruise or something. So for me to actually get like a little mini massage, because it was 2 people massaging me, it felt really good. Made my shoulders, you know, made me kind of relax a little bit. So the main thing was he was showing us how to, something is going on and somebody comes to you with bad news and you want to react and you get very mad. But, you know, within you getting mad, do you think that that person is going to come to you if something else happens again? Do you think that that person is going to come to you and tell you anything else? No. So he was really showing us how to not react and kind of, when things happen, learning how to move away from that pretty quick. Now, you know, there are going to be certain things that go on to where, you know, you can move pretty quick out of not being angry. Another thing that Tony brought up that I just love so much, he asked the question, think about how often you celebrate yourself and think about how often you celebrate others. I think now, especially in this digital world, when good things happen or when things happen in general, we usually, you know, either celebrate it or we talk about it, but then we move past it really quick. When good things happen, let's say you get that new promotion or you get that new car or you get that new house, whatever it is that you are celebrating, just think about how long did it last. He said, did it last a year? That feeling. Did it last 6 months? Did it last a month? How about a week? Usually when good things happen, that feeling doesn't last that long. So you can't wait for good things to happen for you to, you know, either keep that momentum. What I got from that is that we really need to make sure that we're celebrating our wins, even if it's small wins. Small wins can eventually be big results. So you want to make sure that you are celebrating those small wins that you have, and you want to make sure that you're celebrating each other. And the last thing that I really enjoyed that he spoke about was expectations. You know, we have these big expectations on others. I can say for myself, I really expect a lot from others. But Tony said, you know, is it fair for you to expect so much from others? What about yourself? Are we even living up to the expectations that we create for ourselves? So if we're not living up to the expectations that we have for ourselves, how can we put so much expectation on others? Is that really fair? So he really gave a lot. I'm going to have to go back through my notes, and I actually recorded it with my phone. One thing, I was talking to someone about me going to the actual conference, and you know, you want to make sure that you are keeping that same momentum and that same energy 3 months, 6 months after the seminar, you know. So then let's go to Friday. So I end up getting down to the conference on Friday at about maybe like 3:30 or 4. I was so excited to see Gary V and find out that he had already spoke. They had changed, even though he was the keynote speaker for that Friday, they changed the schedule and he ended up speaking early that morning for maybe 30 minutes and I missed him. So they ended up having another guy speak. And I mean, this conference is going from city to city. So if you have a chance to go to this conference, I feel like you should. They have different levels they have different tiers of pricing for these events. So, you know, you have VIP. I'm going to link some videos of Gary V, Tony Robbins, and Damon John in the description. Some of my favorite videos that I've watched in the description. The question of the day: how are you celebrating your achievements? and others? How are you and your friends or you and your family celebrating each other's success? If you have any further questions about how I felt about the conference, please shoot me a question in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Share if you know somebody in a different city that might be interested in this conference. Thank you for watching.